And now, Lifestyles Unlimited presents the Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Over the next hour, we unfold your map to financial freedom. You'll learn how to retire through investing in single family and multifamily real estate. You'll learn how to create cash flow and build wealth so you can have the time and money to live the lifestyle you want.
Welcome to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. I'm Mike Harrison, and as always, yes, we're working on your financial freedom. As always, if you miss any part of this show, you can find us on YouTube, our own YouTube channel, Lifestyles Unlimited. Obviously, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast application on your smartphone, and then you can always visit us on the Lifestyles Unlimited website, lifestylesunlimited.com. We're going to have fun today. I'm going to start off with a quote from the great Al Snow. And he says, if you want to live the life that others don't live, you have to be willing to do the things that others won't do. I love that quote because it is so true. And when we think about it, it's rare for someone to excel. My definition, I would say only 5 or 10% of folks out there ever really excel and succeed. What is that? 1 in 10, 1 in 20? It's rare, right? Definitely rare. It's not the norm. But there are times in our life where we will seek out excellence. Think about this. If you were, God forbid, stricken with a serious health factor or a debilitating disease, wouldn't you want your doctor to be among the top 5%? I know I would. Absolutely I would, right? You would seek out that individual. So there's times when we seek out excellence, when it matters. For those of you that have kids or just remember back when you were in school, but when your child tells you, hey, we had that test, that chemistry test, right? A real test, not a layup test. And they report back that they made a 95, 96, 98, 100. Aren't you proud of them? What goes through your mind when they report back to you or you see that they made a C or a D, right? A 60 or a 75 on the test. Well, don't you usually ask why? Why did you not succeed at this test? What happened? You don't ask that when they made the A, though, when they made the 95, 96. You know what happened. They worked hard. They studied. They knew the information. Look at sports teams, team sports in particular. Any team sport, right? Everything from pee-wee football, girls softball, to professional sports, professional football or basketball, what have you. What happens when those teams come together? Literally 5% of the athletes on that team are the ones that dictate victory or loss, right? It's just the few. If those 5% play well, if they play great, if they do everything they're supposed to do, then chances are that team wins. If they don't play well, typically that team's going to lose. It comes down to the 5% more often than not. Literally, it comes down to just a few individuals making the difference. What separates those 5%? Well, they're the ones that are willing to do, just like Al Snow said, they're willing to do the things that others won't do. They'll study more. They'll push themselves. They'll work out more. They sacrifice their personal time for their craft, right? And this is true in any endeavor, anything that requires a craft or a skill. It's true in art, sports, music, academics, yes, finances, flying a plane, right? There are 5% of pilots out there that are just better than the other 95%. Archery, any craft, any skill whatsoever, there are going to be those 5% that are just that much better than everyone else. And I'm not talking about the gifted people, right? I want to talk about the people that work to get to the 5%. Look, the gifted, there's always those rare savants or natural geniuses out there, the Michael Jordans, the Leonardo da Vinci, Eric Clapton, right? Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs. Those are the rare natural savants or natural geniuses. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about those that worked to get to be in the top 5%. That's what this show's about today, being in the top 5%, top 5% of wealth. I'm going to have 6 steps that I'm going to share with you later that will get you in that top 5%. They're not what you think they are. If you want to live the life that others don't live, you have to be willing to do the things that others won't do. I cannot teach you how to be the best baseball player, the best painter, or the best musician. I just don't have those skills, so I can't pass them along. But financially, I can provide 6 steps for you that will put you in the top 5% of the net worth in the United States. The top 5%, the very best, the top of the top. But you're going to have to be willing to do the things that others won't do. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to literally be engaged into what you're doing. So what is that top 5%? The top 5% of wealth in the United States is a net worth greater than $1,030,000 will put you in the top 5% of net worth in the United States. In fact, these 6 steps, if you follow them and they get started soon enough, you can easily be in the top 2% of net worth. That's $2.472 million. Top 1%, and I do know some of these individuals, real estate investors, absolutely. Top 1% is a net worth of $10.8 million. That's rather significant. But my 6 steps, they're basic. They're not going to be what you think they are, but I promise, if you follow those, you will be a millionaire. Now, I do want to say we have a very diverse audience, right? We come from all walks of life. Every time I meet somebody at Lifestyles Unlimited, whether I'm just meeting them for the first time or they're new members, we always ask each other, what's your background? What do you do? And we've got everyone. We've got truck drivers, teachers, IT people, engineers, pilots. I know a guy, and he was a rodeo champion. I mean, all walks of life. But I will tell you that many of you listening to me right now, you heard what I said earlier. You're telling yourself, you can't believe that you can be a millionaire. A lot of you listening to me right now are like, there's no way. I will never be a millionaire. And you can't go into it like that. There's a quote from Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So you've got to conceive it. You've got to see yourself becoming a millionaire. Then you've got to believe it, right? It's one thing to see it, and it's another thing to believe it. And if you believe it, you can achieve it. Now, there's another group of you listening to me right now that are real estate investors, and the thought going through your mind is, well, Harrison, $1 million is not very much money. And many of you listening to me right now are already in the top 2%. Again, real estate investors. That top 2% is that net worth greater than $2.4 million. But when I sat down to write this show and look at it, how do you get to this point? I came up with 6 steps, and 6 very basic steps. But and these are my steps. I didn't pull these off the internet or from some book or anything like that. I literally took the time and said, what are 6 things that people can follow that will ensure that they make it to that top 5% of net worth in the United States? And I wrote them. And before I share them, I do have 2 points that I want to make. First of all, some of you listening are saying, well, why would I want to be rich? Why do I want to be in the top 5%? And it's a very simple reason. It's so you can concentrate on peace, love, joy, health, and happiness, because that's what life is all about. We'll take care of the wealth side. We'll teach you how to create that wealth. But with that wealth, what does wealth do? It buys you time, okay? And if you have time, you can concentrate on that peace, love, joy, health, and happiness. If you have time, you can share, right? You can share and give. You can share and give time. You can share and give your skills, your knowledge, and obviously you can share and give your wealth. And in doing so, you're going to make the world a better place, right? You're going to make the world a better place. People that don't have financial means quickly begin to blame others. A lot of folks out there. I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people that that do, and they get into and social media doesn't help, but they get into a spiral of self-hate, anger, hate of others, hate of their country. They get into a spiral of abuse, and I don't want that. I have a feeling that the loudest, most angry people that we come across in our life are more often than not, they hate themselves, number one, and they're broke. Think about it. And if they hate themselves, it makes it real easy to hate everything else. We'll provide you time, and it will provide you confidence so that, again, you can make the world a better place. And the second point, to be in the top 5%, you don't need any special skills, okay? You don't need just a portfolio of university degrees, okay? You don't have to start with a ton of money. The Lord knows I started with next to nothing. I was raised by a single mom. I had an old car. When I was in college, I used to sell hemoglobin out of my arm just so I can eat and have gas money. So you don't have to have any of these special skills to start. Really, you can start with little or next to nothing. So step one, and this is going to sound harsh, okay, or rule one. Why don't we call this rule one? Rule one is don't be stupid, also known as don't make dumb decisions. Literally, stupid people make stupid decisions, right? And if you make stupid decisions, stupid financial decisions, relationship decisions, and it sounds harsh, but I'm telling you, I share that same advice with my children. Absolutely. There's a saying out there, it's play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? People being reckless. And I've dipped my toe in this category, okay? I think we all do. We catch ourselves and we're like, wow, I shouldn't have done that. But people come in and out. But you've got to think about your whole life. Think about consequences. Think about decisions. Look at those people that drive through the highway and they're down the highway and they're just zipping in and out of traffic, right? And they're just waiting to get hit. Or the guy on the motorcycle that's riding the wheelie literally down the interstate. It blows me away. Step one, don't be stupid. We'll pick it up on the other side.
Got questions? Call Lifestyles Unlimited at 855-497-4335. The Real Estate Investor Radio Show continues next.
A woman came up to me a couple of years ago. She goes, you know, Del, this retirement stuff's great and everything, but I got a problem. I go, what's that? She goes, I married my husband for good, bad, ugly, for the rest of our life, better or worse, but not to have him at home with me every day. Get him out of here.
Sound like a problem you'd want? Learn how to retire in 5 years or less. Go to lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com.
Creating the lifestyle you've always wanted. You're hearing Lifestyles Unlimited's Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Welcome back to the show. If there's a real estate topic that you would like discussed on the radio show, send me an email. If I can share it, I'd be happy to, or send me a question. I'll respond personally regardless, but shoot me an email, askmike@luinc.com, and in the subject line, if you would, put show topic so I can single that email out. I'm a real estate investor in both single-family properties and apartment communities. I began 12 years ago. I've been a member of Lifestyles Unlimited for the last 10 years. It has absolutely changed my life. If you'd like to learn and see what we do and how we do it, I invite you to attend one of our free workshops, and you can find that at lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com. So I was sitting down to write this show, and it started with a premise about being the very best, being the very top. That would be the top 5%. So I looked up net worth in the United States, top 5% of net worth. If you have a net worth greater than $1,030,000, you are in the top 5% of net worth in the United States, right? The cream of the crop, the top of the top. And then I sat down and I said, well, how can I get somebody to that position, right? To that top 5%. And I came up with 6 steps. And some of these are very basic. Not everybody follows these steps, and not everybody follows them at all times in their life. For instance, step 1's don't be stupid, right? Don't make dumb decisions. And I share that with my children. Don't get dead, right? Don't get dead. So if you're dead, you can't be in the top 5% of net worth, right? We need to get you over the finish line. So it's bad behavior. It's people showing off, right? How many people are in wheelchairs or in the grave because they were showing off? Hey, look, hold my beer, right? Boom. Driving like a maniac, zigzagging in and out of traffic. Addiction. How about this one? Safety protocols, right? There's a reason seatbelts are in cars. Safety protocols. Don't make stupid decisions. Just even on a job site. I was on a job site once, and this is horrific. A guy fell off a roof, and he passed away. He died on the site. He had fall protection, okay? There's fall protection that wraps around. It's a harness. You snap it in. He had his fall gear. He just wasn't wearing it, okay? I don't know why it was terrible, but that was a dumb decision. How about the people at the gas station? We see them, they're putting gas in their car, and they got a cigarette in their mouth. Gasoline plus fire equals bad day, okay? Don't make dumb decisions. People leaning over cliffs and taking selfies, right? We hear about it all the time. So step one, don't be stupid. And if you follow step one, I promise you will find yourself between the top 60 to 80% of net worth in the United States. Or a better way to say it will be better than 20 to 40% of all Americans out there, just following that one single step. That will put you at a net worth somewhere between $6,400 and $67,000. Now, step two, you've got to want to succeed. You've got to want it. Sounds cliche. Not everybody does. You must want to get ahead. To earn your way into the top 5%, you must accept the fact that if you want to succeed, it's going to take some effort on your part. But many people, they just don't care, right? Many people, they'll hide, they'll ignore truths, they'll ignore things that they know they need to address. It's easier for them. Look, we all have adversities in our life, but you can't ignore it, right? You can't run away from it. Some people are comfortable just being okay, right? Okay job, okay relationship, okay wife, okay clothes, okay haircut, okay car, okay dinner. I mean, you know the type, right? I'm not saying those are bad people, but you're listening to me, and if you're following these steps and you want to be in the top 5%, you can't be okay, all right? You've got to want to be better. And I'll tell you, it's easier to be okay than to get out of your comfort zone or to work a little harder or to better your situation. It's easier to be okay. I get it. That's the easy path. But remember, what did Al Snow say? If you want to live the life that others don't live, you have to be willing to do the things that others won't do. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of folks out there that have succeeded in not being stupid, but after that point, they've given up, right? They can't conceive or believe that they can be a millionaire, so they just, it's okay, right? It is what it is. These people, nothing in their life is a priority. We run into these people all the time, okay? We run into them in stores, government offices. Go to the Department of Motor Vehicles and see if there's any sense of urgency there. None. In fact, I've got to take an elderly stepfather to get his driver's license renewed. We made an appointment. You've got to make an appointment. And this was last month, and we made an appointment, and it's 12 weeks out. 12 weeks to get in there. I mean, he was shell-shocked, but again, what are we going to do about it? So these folks they've got no priority, no initiative, no drive. They're just next. They're the type of people you get on the phone when you have maybe a warranty issue with a product that you have and you've got to go through customer service. They're just, no, nothing really matters. So I'll tell you, if you follow step one, not doing stupid things, and you follow step two, wanting to succeed, that eventually you will find yourself in the top 50% or better of wealth in the United States, easily. Step three is called being responsible. It looks like good credit. It looks like being honest. Being responsible is extreme ownership. And there's a book called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. You've got to own your actions in your life. 3 steps: don't engage in stupid behavior, want to succeed, care and be responsible. You're rare, my friends. Congratulations. You'll be in the top 25% of net worth in America in a very short amount of time. That's $403,000 or above, top 25%. Now, step 4, that is learn and practice financial competence. That's living on less than you make. It's paying yourself first, right? Pay yourself first. It's knowing the difference between consumer debt and investment debt, right? Know the difference between the two. If you're advanced and you've got some 0% interest out there on some loans, great, good for you. Just you understand it, manage it properly. It's understanding tax laws, right? I think taxes may be the biggest thing that a lot of people pay out there, more than your house. You probably pay more in taxes than you pay for your house. It's no car loans, right? You're not rich yet. You don't need a car loan, okay? Again, some of you can manage that 0% interest on a car loan. That's okay. It's also no college loans. I think college debt is an epidemic. I think these poor kids that don't know any better are getting talked into go to college at all cost, and they're burdening themselves with these college loans, and then it's sucking their ability to become wealthy. What else? Financial common sense, financial essentially competence is not being house poor, right? Don't be house poor. What does that mean? You bought such a very, very nice house, but you're scrapping by month in and month out to pay for that house. That's called being house poor. Learn to use leverage, right? The bank is your friend. Understand the power of leverage. We've done so many shows on leverage here, how much by putting leverage on a proper real estate assets, just it doubles, triples, quadruples your returns very easily using that leverage. Learn return on net worth. What does that mean? That's a lesson that we practice here at Lifestyles Unlimited. What is your net worth earning for you? You need to learn that. Learn what I call the 4 types of income: W-2 income, portfolio income, passive income, compounded income, a personal financial statement, right? Get an effective financial education. And again, that's not necessarily in school or in college. When you save, you're saving to invest. So step 4, if you're not engaging in stupid behavior, if you want to succeed, are responsible, and you've practiced financial competence at some point in your life, you're going to cross into that top 15% of net worth in the United States. What is that number? That's $795,000. Call it $800,000 of net worth, okay? You follow those 4 steps, at some point, you will get there. Here's a little tidbit of information. Most people out there, they think that's all the steps. They think that's the end right there, right? We know those people. They seem to be doing just fine. That's your neighbors, your coworkers, your friends. They stop after step 4. They don't realize there's 2 more steps. Step 5, buy cash flowing assets. That's what we teach here at Lifestyles Unlimited. Create passive income. Make money in your sleep, right? And when you're buying those cash flowing assets, that cash flow is continuing to come in and month out. Again, next rule in this, don't lose money, all right? Invest to not lose money. It happens at times. I've lost money in one investment that I made. I cannot say that when I bought stocks and bonds and mutual funds. You're always losing, right? You just hope that you have more winners than losers when you're a stock market investor. Not so in real estate. I've had it happen one time, and it was an insignificant amount in the huge overflow of everything else that's come my way. So keep that in mind. Never lose money. Must cash flow. Make money 5 or 6 ways. Single family properties is 5 ways. Multifamily properties is 6 ways. Cash flow, equity capture, mortgage paydown, appreciation, tax advantages, forced appreciation, right? Wealthy people buy streams of income. That's that step 5, right? Put those cash flowing assets in your life. I want you to understand this. The quicker you get to step 5 in life, the wealthier you're going to be over the long term, okay? Some of you will get to step 5 in your 20s and 30s. I didn't get to step 5 until I was in my 40s. Many people don't get to step 5 until they're in their 60s or 70s. They just don't know. This information just isn't out there, but it's what we teach. That's why Lifestyles Unlimited was created. Cash flowing assets create passive income. You can't work your way to wealth. You've got to have your wealth work for you, and it's got to double and triple and quintuple, and you'll see it over and over and over. Dale got to step 5 when he was 34 years old. Look at him now. He's crushing it, right? And if you don't know who Dale Walmsley is, keep listening. You'll find his show. He is the owner of Lifestyles Unlimited, and he has done incredible as a real estate investor. So the sooner you reach step 5, the wealthier you will be. That's how powerful step 5 is, okay? I can tell you for me, everything I had saved up until my 40s, I joined Lifestyles Unlimited, learned how to maximize it through that step 5, and literally have quintupled that since then to a factor of 5, quintupled it. Step 5 is that powerful. So Mike, you may be saying, well, step 5 must be the end, right? No, step 6 is the final step. And I call that final step, repeat, reinvest, create the legacy. Okay, you've got to repeat, reinvest, create the legacy, keep it rolling, feed that cash flow snowball. This doesn't stop, okay? This doesn't stop. The bigger the snowball, the bigger the cash flow. Passive streams of income, passive streams of depreciation. This is having fun. This is networking. This is staying sharp and understanding best practices, right? This is your continuing education. Markets change. Conditions change. This is staying sharp. And also, this is creating that legacy. What are you going to be remembered for? You've got to spend some time on that legacy. If you have children, they need to know how you got where you are, right? You don't want it to get wasted if you pass away and they get everything. What's going to happen to the wealth that you worked so hard to get to? Keep that consideration in mind. You've got to pass this legacy on. Again, if you've got wealth, you then have the ability to concentrate on peace, love, joy, health, and happiness. You have the ability to share. You have the ability to give back. You have the ability to make the world a better place, right? How incredible is that? So if you're able to give and share, and giving and sharing isn't all money, it's sharing time, it's sharing skills, it's knowledge, right? Pass that knowledge on down to your kids. And don't forget to celebrate, right? When you get to a certain point, celebrate, take the time. We say here at Lifestyles, it's not the money, it's the lifestyle. And that's precisely what we're talking about. So follow these 6 steps. Reach out to me if you've got any questions. And I want you to remember, it's not the money, it's the lifestyle. Make it a great day.
The information and opinions you hear on the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers. The Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.